Come on, keep going, keep going, keep going. Oh, yeah. Down. Out. Out. You did it.
Vlog. I am so excited to film this. I'm obsessed with my birth, and it went so well. It is 7 months since I had a baby, so oh, and my cat's water is over there if you hear what sounds like a water fountain or a water feature. I had a very uncomplicated pregnancy, so I ended up going to a 40-week appointment with everything being fine. The benefits of wearing a dress. So I think they're gonna check me. Fingers crossed that there's some dilation. We'll find out. I'm so tired. Look at that bump. And they asked me if I wanted to go ahead and schedule an induction. So I had an induction scheduled for 41 weeks, and I made it, still pregnant, to the day of my 41-week induction. So I will start sharing notes. My mom took a bunch. Everything is time-stamped. So my original induction was scheduled for a Sunday night.
I'm so frustrated right now. So it's Monday. I am officially 41 weeks pregnant. I'm at home. I was supposed to go for an induction last night, and they didn't have any beds, so I got put on like the wait list, and they're supposed to call me. But they might call me last night. I think when I originally called them, it was around like 7:30, and then obviously like around midnight I was like, all right, I guess I'm just going to bed because they're not calling me today. And now it is 8:30 in the morning. I'm gonna call them in a minute. I kind of just wanted to eat breakfast and like wake up in case they did have a bed. I didn't want to be rushed out the door. I'm just kind of like in limbo, hoping that I'll either go into natural labor or they'll have a bed, but it's getting very frustrating because there's just so much out of my control. So we'll see what they say.
Not very much later, the hospital called me at 11 a.m. and said that they had a bed already. So we got the call and we're headed in for the induction. How do you feel? It is Monday, August 7th. I'm 41 weeks today. Mom's behind us. So we'll see how this goes. We got to the hospital, we got checked in, we got our wristbands. They weighed me, which at 41 weeks, we got checked in. This is like around 12:30. You know, we got put in the room. I changed into my hospital gown.
So we're going to be drawing some blood also with this IV storm.
Okay.
Right where I need to be.
They put the little belly monitors on, and they checked my dilation before they started the induction.
There it is. I'm gonna stay closed. I can't get my finger through that hole.
Yeah.
That's closed, and you're probably maybe 80%. And the head is like a -2.
So the induction method that they used was called Cervidil.
So we put that, it's like a little tampon insert that stays in for 12 hours. So from the point that we put it in, we don't even check you or take it out until 12 hours later. All we're expecting that to do is to get you from where you're at now, which is fingertip, to about 3 centimeters.
Okay.
What I would expect is for us to put that in, 12 hours later to take it out, you're somewhere from 1 to 3, we start Pitocin, and then, you know, it's kind of game on from there. Sometimes your body can just take over and you'll go from there, but it's obvious that your body's pretty resistant to this whole process right now. So get comfy.
Yeah, we brought a computer.
Find a good show. Yeah.
We'll master waiting.
Yeah.
So we got admitted, and obviously I'm in my gown, and then we're hooked up. I don't know if you can see the monitor. My mom just went to get food, and Zach's getting all this stuff out of our car. And they started me on Cervidil, which is like a vaginal insert, and it hurt really bad to get it put in. And I got an IV ready already. That wasn't fun either. And so now it's just a waiting game. The Cervidil should take 12 hours. She checked me before, and I was only like not dilated at all. So hopefully this will get things going. I'm already having some contractions you can see them on the monitor, but I can't really feel them. But we're here. This is what our room looks like. It's pretty big. There's the baby stuff. There's the cart. I'm just waiting and just taking it one thing at a time, I guess. And hopefully he'll be here by tomorrow.
So once that was inserted, I wasn't allowed to get up or eat for 2 hours while it started to work. So this is around like 4 p.m. Like nothing's happening. Well, it is happening, but I'm not aware of it. So we're just like hanging out. So like I said, you could see the contractions. It didn't feel like much was going on. They originally told me that the induction would bring upon cramps that felt like period cramps. And that was kind of it. So I went into this thinking it's a really like mild induction, and that there was a potential that we would have to do this twice, because sometimes if it doesn't put you into labor, they can do it again. So I went into this thinking when they come to take it out, maybe I'll be a couple centimeters dilated. And I don't know. I just was not expecting what happened. Out of like, I guess, boredom, I asked if they could set the bouncy ball up. So in the hospital, you can't really do anything because you're hooked up to all this stuff. And so they got a bouncy ball for me, and I was able to bounce on that. And I probably bounced on it for 30 minutes, you know, just trying to feel like I was doing something to induce labor. I do think it worked, but also I think the Cervidil really started to kick in because I started to have actual contractions that I could feel. And those did feel like period pain, but it was a manageable pain. So just like mild contractions starting.
So it is almost 7 o'clock. I think 12 hours will be around 1 or 2 in the morning, but I'm starting to like get some really big cramps. I'll have to have them look at the monitor for me so you can see like my contractions, and they're like not severe, but not mild, like medium period cramping, just kind of like uncomfortable, and hopefully it means like something's happening. And we're just hanging out. Everybody's watching. I think I'll have to show you when they get back. Zach was playing his Twitch, and my mom was watching a TV show on her iPad, and then I'm watching on my iPad, and then we have the Weather Channel up because it's raining, and it's really rainy out. So we're just hanging out and slow and steady progress. So I was watching The Bachelorette. So Mom is hanging out there, and then Zach has a chair. Like I said, it's raining. We got a TV. And then let me zoom in. You can see, oh, I'm about to have a contraction. That one wasn't too terrible. And then you can see at the top is his little heartbeat. He's moving around and kicking me. He heard us talking about going to Chick-fil-A. So he's excited.
This would be the bag that I take if she hits the fan. And then go to your mom and dad's and learn to cultivate.
Like I said, the Cervidil was inserted at 2. It's supposed to take 12 hours, so they're not supposed to take it out until 2. And in that period, they can't check your cervical dilation at all, so you don't really know how well it's working. You just know you're having contractions. As it progressed, they started to slowly get stronger and stronger, and it got to a point where Zach started to have to do counter pressure.
And then you're supposed to have another one.
I think it's cool.
Yep, that would make sense.
Deep breath. And exhale. Use those big hands.
Weird angle.
I know.
That's why I said you might want to get your
You want
like
to
a.
sit down, but just don't stop yet. Yeah, I think like if no one told me, and I didn't even know until I watched back my birth video, that our son was actually born like sunny side up when he came out. And so I'm just Googling, like, I guess that can intensify like your lower back labor pain, which is what I had. And so it was really helpful to have him do counter pressure on my lower back when I was having contractions. And I don't know if my mom got a video of it, but what we ended up having to do, because it takes a lot of effort to apply good counter pressure and it's a lot of upper body strength, and I can't lay on my stomach because I'm pregnant, so you have to do it from the side, and I didn't want to get on all fours. Like, it's just hard to do. So what we did, which worked really well, was I laid on my side, my husband was behind me in a chair like this, and he was wedged against the wall so I wouldn't move. And he put his feet up on my back and he would use his feet to apply the counter pressure. And it was really good because, like, it was just great. I'm really glad we figured that out because that really helped for a long time doing the counter pressure. So around 10-ish, 9:30, 10-ish, like I said, my contractions were picking up.
That was a 2-minute one.
Yeah. Well, it's about the same as the other one.
You got some, you definitely contracting, that's for sure. So it's working.
Like, I don't know how 2 o'clock is sounding.
Making it till 2?
Yes.
Oh.
Oh, push.
Open your eyes, breathe. Breathe in, deep breath, and out. Well, if this is gentle, I imagine with the Pitocin.
They came in, to see how I was doing, and they told me that they could offer me fentanyl. So it was to help with the pain. It wouldn't get rid of it, but it would dull it. But the caveat is they can offer you up to 5 doses, but each dose is progressively weaker. Like, your body, I guess, just adjusts to it. So by the time you get your 5th dose, it's just not nearly as strong as the first dose. So in very true fashion, I said no. I wanted to wait. And then I think I had 2 or 3 more pretty intense contractions and was like, okay, never mind, come back, you can give me the drugs.
All sides. He's kicking me, my body's in pain.
Oh no, I'm coming out.
Oh
No.
So I ended up agreeing and saying, yes, like, please give me the fentanyl around like 11:30. And they administered that, and they still couldn't check to see how far along I was dilated, but my contractions were getting progressively more intense, and they were about 2 to 3 minutes apart at this point. It felt like, labor is happening. I am actively, like, having contractions. They're getting much stronger. They're pretty close together. Like, things are moving quickly. The fentanyl itself relaxed me. You're not quite in as much pain, and it takes the edge off, so you're a little bit more relaxed. It wore off pretty quickly. It was not a long-term solution. And so, like I said, they inserted it at 2, so I had to wait till 2 p.m. before they were supposed to remove it. But around 1, it was getting pretty intense. And I was telling them, like, can the doctor come, like, talk to me? So she came in around 1:15, 1:30, and she obviously could tell that I was in a lot of pain, and just seeing, like, my contractions being 2 to 3 minutes apart, she decided to go ahead and remove the Cervidil and check my dilation, and I was 2.5 centimeters dilated. They were like, okay, you're technically in active labor now. If you want to go ahead and get an epidural, you can. which is what everyone wants to hear. However, I thought, well, I know statistically an epidural can slow down your labor. And a lot of times I know they recommend waiting till you're like 3 or 4 centimeters dilated to get your epidural. And so I was like, maybe I can wait a little longer before I get my epidural. And about 5 minutes later, I was like, nope, never mind, call the anesthesiologist because I cannot wait. And I don't want him to get busy doing something else. Send him in immediately. They did bring in the anesthesiologist. And what's funny is, so it's probably an hour from when she took the Cervidil out. She took it out around like 1:30. So then around 2:30, the anesthesiologist came in and they were like, okay, before you give her the epidural, let us just check her dilation one more time. And I was actually 4 centimeters dilated, which was just chef's kiss, perfect. I was like, yes, this means I'm in active labor, like this baby is gonna come. You know, this epidural, even if it slows down my labor, isn't gonna make too big of a difference because I'm already almost halfway there. So I got the epidural. The process for that was pretty easy, very painless. What they did, my husband was allowed to stay in the room, my mom had to leave. They raised my bed up really high. My husband sat in front of me and I had to put my feet on his knees to stabilize you. I think I bent over some, I can't remember. But I just remember he had to do one shot that was like a numbing shot, and that I barely felt at all. And then when he did the epidural, I didn't feel it at all. But I remember telling him, please, please wait. I'm about to have a contraction. I was so scared that he was gonna be inserting my epidural while I was contracting. And then he used so much tape. Good, it wasn't gonna fall out or anything. I just, you know, you just hear him like pulling off tape and he's like pushing it down my back and just making sure it doesn't go anywhere. But it was just funny. It started working immediately. This is the best decision that I ever made. An epidural is for me, and I'm so glad that I got it. I'm so glad that I knew I was gonna get it. It just made everything so much better. So this was like around 3 in the morning. I did try to get some sleep, especially like once I had the epidural and I wasn't feeling any pain. It was really easy. I think I probably got a couple hours of sleep. The one issue that I had was the epidural caused my blood pressure to drop. That's obviously like concerning. You don't want that to affect the baby. So they ended up having to add fluids to my IV 2 or 3 different times, and it still wasn't getting my blood pressure up. But at some point, I don't even remember this, I just saw a picture. They ended up also giving me oxygen when my blood pressure was dropping. So they had like the oxygen mask on me, but then we all went back to sleep. So the next time they checked me was at 5:45 a.m.
So I'm 9 centimeters dilated and we're just waiting for the water to break and I can't feel anything.
Because I was 9 centimeters dilated and my water wasn't breaking, the doctor came in and went ahead and broke my water. But there was meconium in my water, so they had to go ahead and get the NICU on standby in case, you know, he had any issues when he came out, because meconium is poop. He basically pooped in the placenta in his amniotic fluid, and they were just concerned that there could be issues when he comes out. So they checked me, I was 9 centimeters dilated. They broke my water. It's like 6 o'clock in the morning. We're like, yes, we're vibing. We're like, this baby is coming. And then no, my contractions slowed down. I didn't progress at all. So around 8 o'clock or 8:30, one of the nurses came in and we did practice pushes. So she was walking me through how you push. So, you know, you sit up, deep breath in, and then when you have the contraction, you push for 10 seconds. And so we did one practice contraction and she was like, all right, I'm gonna have you stop. I think you're gonna have this baby soon, so I don't want you to push anymore until the doctor's in here. And within the next 10 or 15 minutes, I definitely started to feel that pressure.
Okay. Okay. All right. She's coming, I promise. No, she's saying he's gonna come. Oh, I know, he's coming.
So about 30 minutes later, I was still feeling the pressure. There's no pain with an epidural, but it's like you can still feel there's something coming out of you. So the doctor came in about 30 minutes later to prep for delivery. I started actively pushing.
You want this wedge out of the way? Oh, yes, just stick it somewhere.
I'm ready.
Yeah, pushy. She is ready. No, she's not.
All right.
Leg back a little bit more.
Yeah.
Take a deep breath in and push. And Dad, you can help by grabbing this pillow and helping hold her neck up.
I know you might have to do the head and you might have.
Yeah, I can do whatever. I can climb up in the bed if I need to.
Aww, we don't need that.
Okay, that's back on your other one. Deep breath and go. 1, 2, 3. Come on, push harder. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good job. Deep breath and go one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Come on, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Trust me, I'm pushing with you.
Good job. Deep breath and push. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Come on, keep going, keep going. Pushing, 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 pushing. Oh, yeah.
Down. Out.
Oh, what a you did it.
Look at that. No wonder it took you a little while. Alright, placenta is out.
Alright, he's 39.20, which is 8 pounds, 10 ounces.
Ooh, that's bigger than we all guessed. Yes.
Bigger than me.
I know.
How much were you?
7.
He was 7. I was 8 pounds 7. That was my birth story. I hope you enjoyed it. Like I said, I was obsessed with it, so I'm so happy I finally got to share it. And it's definitely something like I wanted to capture because I mean it's only been 7 months. I'm glad my mom took like all those notes because there's stuff like I didn't remember or like just time stamping things because you so quickly forget that. I know like in a couple years like I'm just not gonna like remember it all, so it's gonna be really nice to be able to go back and watch this video and then one day share it with our son. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, give me a thumbs up, comment. If you have any questions about birth, I think my baby's away. Let me go check. This is our perfect little baby. Say hi. See you next time. You little polka dot boy. You're so cute. You're so cute. What's that?
Hopefully he's not allergic to cats.
Yeah. What's that? Who is that? Oh no.
Oh, he lost one of his mittens.
Oh, it's now it's like a sleeve.
Hi, Louie.
Lulu, come here.
Just came